Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a Rolex Certified Pre-Owned Oyster Perpetual Yacht-Master 2 in yellow gold. You're looking at the reference 116688. This is the watch as it debuted at Basel World in 2007, the original version of the timepiece. Full gold, full bracelet, and possibly the most colorful and distinctive Yacht-Master of all time, and that's any Yacht-Master. This is a massive machine. I can tell you about the dimensions, but what the eye cannot perceive is 258.78 grams. That is about 9.25 ounces to those of us in the old colonies, or well over half a pound. In terms of dimensions, 44 millimeters in diameter. This marked a new era for Rolex case sizes, at least in the post-pocket watch era. The 44 diameter paired with a surprisingly thin 13.9 millimeter thickness. From lug tip to lug tip, we're just talking about the lugs, 50 millimeters and 57.3 from end link to end link, being the total distance across the wrist. Now we will take this watch, which by the way is a 2010 serial number, so the model came out in 07, but this is a G serial. We'll throw it on my wrist. We'll remove the glove a little bit so you can better see the watch in proportion. Okay, now you can see it is quite large. Oddly, I don't think that this is too big for me. In spite of being quite large, it's not actually out beyond the edge of my wrist. So yeah, if your wrist is 16 centimeters and up, this will wear fine. If you want to be absolutely certain, 17 centimeters and up. And you can see, particularly with the glove, this is not going to be an impediment to the motion of a cuff or sleeve, so you can wear this with tighter sleeves, French cuffs, things that would normally get hung up on a thicker watch. That won't really be a problem here. The timepiece features an Oyster bracelet, so sports style after all. The original Yacht-Master came out in 1992, and it was sort of a deluxe Submariner, or at the very least, it was sort of an abandoned design project for a deluxe Submariner. They didn't want to take the sub so far up market that it lost touch with its blue-collar roots, so the sub stayed in the catalog. The Yacht-Master debuted. Less water-resistant, but also less bulk and thickness. The Yacht-Master had a bidirectional rotating timing bezel to count down to the beginning of a match within a regatta. Well, we still have a lot of that aesthetic from 1992 here, as well as the countdown function. You can see we've got a conforming end link that makes the Oyster bracelet to the case cleanly, taper down towards the clasp, polish outer faces, polish center links, satin finish shoulders. We'll get down to the clasp here. You can see that there is a 5 millimeter snap-in, snap-out easy link tool-free adjustment system. And if you look inside the clasp body, you can see 3 pairs of divots, so you can dismount the spring bar and change the anchoring point to fine-tune the fit. We do have removable links here. In the bracelet, the removable links are fixed in place using screws, and the clasp body itself features this spring-loaded lever-action lift lock system that interacts with that little beak right there, and the second lock is the clamshell. There's a little kerf underneath the crown that's actually cut into the clasp. You can see, so you can dig your nail in and easily open it up. Taking a look at the case band, you can see this is not the super case of the Explorer 2s, the GMTs, the Subs, and the Sea Dwellers. This is very much like a big Yacht-Master case, maybe a little bit like a Datejust or a Date-8. It's a more elegant case. It has more of an ambiance of formality and grace than the square-shouldered, squared-off, sheer super case we associate with the Rolex sports watches. You can see here we've got a triplock crown in gold. We know it's a triplock crown in gold. Let's get a little bit closer, because it's 3 dots with a large center dot, so that means it is gold and a triplock. 100 meters water resistant. You can see there's nothing to see out back, but there is a screwed in Oyster case back. Taking a look in profile, you can see this bezel does rotate, but not the way you think. And then top side, we have a blue cerachrom ceramic insert that's highly scratch resistant and features PVD deposit of yellow gold in all of the characters as well as the numerals. Interesting thing, Rolex has its own foundry. It smelts its own gold, so case, bracelet, clasp, dial, hands, movement, Rolex makes every part of this watch. Let's do a quick loom shot. As you can see, back in 2010, the G series like this would have featured super luminova. Rolex hadn't changed over to chromolite just yet. The hands, as well as the indices, are solid gold, so they won't tarnish or oxidize. And this dial is true white, not silver white, but true white, like chalk, like white paint. We've got a little bit of azurage in the sub-register, or concentric patterning for the small second. And then we'll demonstrate how the flyback system works. Now you can see the flyback system will always reset the chronograph seconds hand, but before we reach the end of the countdown, it will fly back or fly forward with respect to the minute indicator. So let's redo all of this. So I have programmed the 9-minute countdown, and it will retain memory of the 9-minute countdown until I reprogram it, so I can continuously start from that point. Now what will happen is, if you use the flyback action, it'll actually fly back to 9 or fly forward to 8, depending on which minute is closer, and that can be desirable in the instance that you are timing the start of a match in regatta. Now, of course, you have programmable countdown between 10 and 1 minutes, and so it will always return when reset to your programmed countdown until you reset it. It is a retrograding system, so when reset, it will retrograde, and you can see we've got no shortage of details on this dial. The 10-minute programmable countdown being something that will turn out to be surprisingly practical for you, as there are many times you just need a small interval to be measured on your chronograph, plus we have customization so you can choose just how much. Once the chronograph reaches the end of its travel, the chronograph seconds hand will continue to advance. So if you just want to have center seconds and basically use it as your running seconds hand, you can do that. And although the watch does feature stop seconds or hacking, you can also reset and use that as effectively a 0 reset second system. The baton style hands for hours and minutes are half faceted, or I should say they're faceted down their center with a facet on each side for better contrast against this dial base. Now we'll talk a little bit about how you use these functions. To set the watch, you need to first reset everything, stop the chronograph, because you can't set or program the countdown when the chronograph is running. Now in this first position, the crown is out. I can wind the watch. It's got a 72-hour power reserve. It does automatically wind, but I can wind it manually. But if I pull the crown out, you can see here, I'm setting the watch's time, and then if I push it back in, I'm winding. So how do we set? Well, you turn the bezel until it stops, clicks into place, then you push the trigger down, and then, once that trigger's down and the bezel's justified full counterclockwise, you have the ability to set the countdown. And as you can see, the action will retrograde back to the beginning. So let's say we want to set 4 minutes. There we go. To discharge that trigger down at 4 o'clock, you simply turn the bezel clockwise again, slot it so it's top to bottom aligned, and now, screw that back down there. We start up the chronograph, and it counts down from 4 minutes, and it will retain memory of 4 minutes until you reprogram it. Out back, not much to see, but under the case back, a very complicated movement. 360 parts, 48 jewels, Rolex caliber 4140, the most complex Rolex movement ever made when it debuted in 2007. Bidirectional automatic winding, the rotor has a ball bearing like the Daytona, 72-hour power reserve, 4 hertz. It has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock resistance. The free sprung balance also allowing for very precise adjustment of the mechanism. The movement is a 5-position adjusted COSC qualified Swiss chronometer. The caliber features a Breguet profile overcoil hairspring, so no matter what position you have the watch on your dresser at night or your wrist during the day, it will keep very consistent time. And that hairspring is a niobium zirconium anti-magnetic alloy Rolex calls cerachrom blue, and it is oxidized blue to prevent any kind of further corrosion, oxidation, or degradation. There is a lot to love about this movement. It's also fairly large at 30.5 millimeters. It properly fills this large case back. The chronograph operation is by a column wheel for crisp feel and sound, and then vertical clutch for smooth engagement. So you can see there's no jump or stagger to the seconds hand when you start it up. Also, if you want to leave it running full time, you can do so without any risk to the watch, since the vertical clutch doesn't suffer any additional wear and tear by meshing of gears. There is really nothing like that on the vertical clutch. It's fundamentally different from a lateral clutch, so you can just run it full time. We have a 4 hertz beat rate, so 8 beats per second, and a lovely timepiece that is simply full of refinements, surprise and delight details, and so unlike a conventional Rolex, both in terms of design and its focus on high-end engineering and complexity of mechanics. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. Rolex Certified Pre-Owned watches are backed and authenticated by Rolex. Should any reconditioning be necessary, it will be to a Rolex Certified standard, and any parts invested Rolex Factory Original. Should the initial retail box, paper, and accessory set still accompany the watch, it will be included with the sale. But no matter what, a Certified Pre-Owned box and paper set starts with an outer box, a leatherette travel pouch with suede lining, a warranty card that embodies the 2-year globally valid Rolex-backed warranty. Note this is not a retail warranty, but backed by Rolex and actionable at any of its authorized points of sales and service. A leatherette wallet includes the warranty terms and conditions manual. A holographic hang tag marks this as a certified pre-owned Rolex watch, and a manual details Rolex's values as a company. The certified pre-owned program, care, feeding, service, and use of your Rolex, locations of points of sales and service, and details of Rolex.com. Rolex certified pre-owned watches are backed only by Rolex.